Thank you. Sheffield students, wherever they are, so thanks for them, and also for carrying the coffin. Superb. Here are some of the trade union branches that have donated money for tonight. Sheffield University Unite Industrial branch have donated money. The Unite Geographical branch in the North East who fetched a cheque tonight, all the lads from Hull, thanks for them. Leeds UCU sent money to us as well. Leeds Geographical Unite branch, Barnsley Trades Council, Rotherham Trades Council, Unison Wakefield branch, and I could go on, I can't read them all. Oh, Unite Transport branch as well. So that just shows you the breadth of the movement that have given money to make this possible tonight. We've got a stall in the Shakespeare pub where you can give us even more money. So I'm sure you'll be coming over and having a beer and buying our t-shirts and what have you. I'd also like to say thanks to the Orgreave campaigners who have made tonight possible, especially Barbara Jackson, our secretary, who works tirelessly and went over and above to book a giant and a fire breather for tonight. John Dunn, who you've just heard from, also applied for some funding from Lush the Cosmetics. So if you're a bit smelly after tonight, you know where to buy your shampoo from. Kate Flannery for doing all our media. She's worked tirelessly and setting up the pub with a fancy dress that you'll see in a while. Chris Peace, who you listened to earlier, for booking the pub and the acts that we'll be listening to later. Stuart, our Twitter person, I pester him on a daily basis, saying you must tweet more. And Kevin and Chris Horn for all the interviews they've done and for cutting out all the masks, which I managed to side foot that one into the net. So thanks for Chris and Kevin for doing that. Before we move over to the Shakespeare pub, I'd just like to invite Chris Skidmore from the NUM, if he's here. I've sprung this on Chris last minute as well, so I'm sure he'll wax lyrical. But before I move over to the pub, I'll pass him over to the mic. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers, Chris.
Be a pint either, or several pints. It's a fantastic occasion tonight to see so many people here. See a lot of new friends, a lot of old friends.
To read out. The first one is from Helen Steele. Helen Steele's one of the women that had to endure a relationship with an undercover officer. She's still fighting today for justice. So when Theresa May and Amber Rudd said that the police have changed and there's nothing to worry about, then maybe you should have to listen to what Helen Steele's got to say. I'll just read out her message now. I'm very sorry not to be able to be here with you tonight, but I send solidarity to everyone involved in the long struggle for truth and justice over the police brutality and frame-ups that occurred at Orgreave in 1984. I am one of many women who have now taken legal action against the Metropolitan Police after we found out we had been deceived into a long-term and intimate relationship with undercover police officers. We are part of a secret political policing squads that run this country. These secret squads infiltrated our campaign groups, the trade union movement, with the sole purpose to spy on them. They also shared information with companies involved in the blacklisting campaign, which many workers still suffer from today. They were working for the corporate and the state interests, not in the public interest. It has now been confirmed that they spied on over 1,000 groups in this country since 1968, even spying on the grieving families and those who have lost loved ones in racist attacks, who are trying to challenge nothing other than malpractice. Our case involved 8 women who between us were deceived by 5 different officers. This showed that the abuse of women to pop up fake identities of these officers was a deliberate tactic and armed institutional sexism. The police tried every trick in the book to prevent our case from coming to court, claiming they had neither confirmed nor denied that the men were undercover. But eventually, in November 2015, the police were forced to apologise, and they finally admitted that these undercover relationships were actually abuse of power and a violation of our human rights. Despite this apology, we have still not been given any disclosure, and we need answers about the relationships and the wrong injustice that happened to us and continues to this day. It's obscene in a supposedly democratic country that the police officers were not held to account when they abuse, attack or even frame us. It's also obscene that the victims of their abusers are forced to fight for justice. Those beaten, framed by the police at Orgreave deserve the truth, and they deserve the public to know the extent at which the state will go to undermine our movement. Solidarity with your fight. The truth will come out in the end. Helen Steele. I've got some more to read out, so before you have to listen more to me, I'll invite John Dunn, a striking miner and a stalwart of the Orgreave Truth and Justice campaign.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes!
Ain't it been a great night?
Yes!
A year ago today, I was in the House of Commons. I had to sit there and listen to Amber Rudd stand up, very fitting that it was Halloween, stand up and say there was no need for an inquiry into Orgreave because nobody died. That was only by luck, not by accident. If the police could have got away with killing our people that day, they damn well would have done. She also said, it's a long time ago. Things have moved on. The police have learned lessons. Well, tell the fracking protesters about the lessons the police have learned. And as I say, it was Halloween. And she was obviously trying to channel the ghost and the spirit and the ghoul that was Margaret Thatcher. Well, I've got news for Amber Rudd and the Tories. Margaret Thatcher's still dead and we're still here. And we ain't going away. The fact that so many people turn out in Sheffield of all places. I'm a Derbyshire lad. There's a little bit of rivalry with Sheffield. As far as I'm concerned, it's always dark and it's always November in Sheffield. But here we are, 33 years after the events of our strike. We've not gone away. They can only win if we pack in. They thrive on our inactivity. And let's be clear, in the year since Amber Rudd made that announcement, ain't a lot happened. We've had the general election that they thought they were going to win 100+ majority. But the Labour Party under Jeremy Corbyn showed them something different. And it has to be said, if we not wasted 2 years fighting people within our own ranks, we won't be calling on the Tories to have a public inquiry. We'd have a Labour government led by a socialist giving us an inquiry. So let's be clear. All the campaigns, be it the people that are fighting fracking, Helen Steele and the people who were literally raped by the state, the blacklisting lads who lost their livelihoods just because they didn't want to die at their place of the work, the people that are fighting to maintain a living in the face of drastic austerity, the people that are fighting cuts, the people in Grenfell who were sacrificed on the altar of profit.
Yes!
And if we need a reason to hate the Tories, remember the platitudes they poured out at the time of Grenfell, praising the medical profession, praising brave firefighters who dashed into that inferno. A week later they were dancing and singing in the aisles of the Commons when they refused to give them a decent pay rise. It's time that we got rid of these people. Yes, I want justice. I want an inquiry into Orgreave. I want an inquiry into everything that happened during our strike when the whole force of the state was turned against us. Yes, we want an inquiry. Yes, we want justice. We want justice for Shrewsbury. We want justice for Orgreave. Justice for Grenfell. Justice for those people raped by the state. But most importantly, importantly, I think we have to take it a step further. Not just justice, we want our revenge for 2 years suffered. The ultimate revenge. Let's get the Tories out. Let's replace them, not just with a Labour government, but with a socialist government. Let's go. The ultimate revenge, comrades, when we win, is that we abolish this rotten system that turns armed police on people just wanting the right to work, that sends undercover police officers to rape innocent women, that blacklists people and denies them the right to feed their families. We want justice against that system. Let's abolish that system. Forward to socialism, comrades. Thank you.
From Frack-Free Scarborough and the anti-fracking movement to the miners of the Orgreave Truth and Justice campaign. 40 years ago, what really epitomised the miners' strike was the amount of solidarity that it received, the bucket rattling, the people who got on coaches to come, because people realised that there was a massive battle going on. They could see that there was a turn, and we lost that fight, and we've suffered for 40 years as a result of having lost that fight. That's why we remember it. That's why it creates such solidarity today. That is why we make the links between the environmental movement, between the fracking movement, between what's being done to us now and what was done to you 40 years ago. We're really grateful that you make those links and that you've invited us to come here today. And we hope that some of you might join us next Saturday at our Solidarity Day at the Kirby Misperton Well. We're meeting at midday in a village called Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire, and then we're marching behind the PCS Samba Band to the well side, where we're going to hold a rally and do the things that anti-frackers do best, which is eat cake and drink tea and call for the end of the Tories. Ban fracking, climate jobs now.
Because it's you that's going to throw things at me. It's uplifting, I shall say, to see so many people here from so many different, shall we say, call it persuasions. At that time the TUC got fully behind this campaign, and at every opportunity our MPs in this area ought to be asking questions, not having us ask the questions for them. It's about time that they got their act together, because they get paid pretty handsomely. And if they keep wanting us to come out and support them, then they've got to start supporting us in our struggle. It's not very long ago that we had our annual memorial service. This year it was at Selby. And at that point it also makes me think about the amount of people who's no longer with us. The amount of my friends that's no longer with us, who I promised that I would do my utmost to get justice for. Because they turned out at Orgreave to get battered to a pulp by people who are supposed to look after us. And I'll never ever forget that, and I'll never ever forgive those people that did it to us. And for Amber Rudd and other sidekicks in Parliament to sit there in judgment and say we don't want an inquiry. They don't want an inquiry because it will show them up. That's the reason they don't want an inquiry. There'll be too many sackings, and there might be too many, shall we say, private prosecutions brought out against them. There's a few people here tonight that I'm proud to say were my friends who were at Orgreave with me. It was not a very nice occasion, I can tell you that. There certainly weren't any drums anyway. What I want to just mention to you all about how important that this campaign is to educate people. Because we can't go forward if we leave this in the background. What we have to do is to educate people to understand that when you've done wrong in a position of power and authority, then you have to be questioned about it. And you have to be accountable for your actions. Otherwise you can't move forward. Nobody can move forward having something like this in the background, where people have got away with telling lies in public office, and then to cover it up, and to compound it by having a government, and let's be fair, The Labour Party could have quite easily had a public inquiry if they wanted to do so, but chose not to. So let's all get together, be uplifted about what's happened tonight, take the question to Parliament, via your own MPs, and above all, educate people into this massive injustice that's been done to us all. Thank you very much.